Mount Tahoma. Going to interview my old trio advisor, Angela Phillips. She's a career counselor here now, and she inspired me to go to college and is keeping me motivated because maybe one day I might do something that she does. And yeah. How did you find your way into this career? Alright, so I'm here with Angela, the career counselor at Mount Tahoma, and I'm just going to ask her some questions about her job.
So I found my way into this career kind of a roundabout way, which I think is how a lot of people end up in the careers they're in. I majored in health promotion and minored in political science and global health, so nothing at all to do with working with high school students. But after I graduated, I knew I wasn't ready to go to grad school, and I did a term of service with AmeriCorps. I moved from Iowa to Tacoma, and I did my first year of AmeriCorps service with TRIO, and I just stayed. I never intended to stay in Tacoma more than 1 year, and now it's been about 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was just kind of something that I stumbled onto when I was looking for something to do between grad school and my undergrad. When I got out of grad school?
Yeah.
So I interned, I went to UW for grad school. I did the MSW program, and I interned at the Tacoma, where did I intern? At the Tacoma AIDS Foundation and also at the Tacoma Community House. And so I've always really liked small nonprofits and the kind of work that they're able to do in the community. So that was kind of where I thought I might go. But, I did grad school while I was doing working for TRIO, so doing similar work. And so I thought I might change, but I really like the thought of not working with students was kind of made me sad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have just, my job has kind of changed, but I'm still working with students. So I was in college. If I could tell myself some words of advice, I think I would tell myself to get a little bit more involved in college. I was not a very active college student. I worked a lot. I had friends and I went out and I did things like that, but I wasn't in clubs or groups on campus. I didn't have an on-campus job. I worked off campus. I didn't do an internship in my undergrad. So all of those things if I could do over, I would do that. I definitely did some things that I'm glad I did, like I studied abroad. And
Oh, wow. Where'd you go?
I studied in Ghana, West Africa.
Oh, wow. Was that fun?
Yeah, it was one of the really cool things. When you get older and you look back and you're like, wow, I did some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things. So
yeah, that sounds cool.
But that's the big thing. I think I really wish that I had been more involved on my college campus.
Yeah, the reason I interviewed you was because you inspired me to go to college. If it wasn't without you, I probably wouldn't be going to UW. I'd be like my sister right now, just working.
Well, that makes me happy. I don't know. At the time, you probably felt like, stop bothering me about all this stuff. I'll just do it to get her to stop.
I was just I don't know what I want to do in college, and I still don't know what I want to do in college. But if I wasn't hanging out with you and you talking to me about getting the stuff done and the opportunities, so I'm glad that you inspired me.
Well, that's very complimentary. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like what you do at Mount Tahoma. I was just how did you get started in this career? So that's interesting that it wasn't just one path.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing, especially when you're working in a lot, there's two things. One is you do the internship path and you kind of really get connected that way directly to a career. And some of it is just who you know. Mm-hmm. And I just, happened to stumble upon this, and then I've met people along the way that have opened more doors for me. But yeah, it was really pretty accidental. It's not at all what I would have ever thought. If you would have told me that I would have spent 8 years of my life working with middle school students and then working, with high school students, I would have said you are a liar.
Which one do you like working with better?
I like high school.
Yeah.
A lot better.
Have you ever thought about working with college students?
I think at some point I probably would like doing that.
Yeah.
But I definitely wouldn't work with elementary school.
Yeah.
9th grade right now is like my cutoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that you know that you love the career that you're in when I think there's a few things, like when you wake up in the morning and you are looking forward to the things that you have to do. I mean, it's not, I don't like getting up so early in the morning, but I know, like, I think about the students that I'm going to see and the things that we're going to get done and the value in that time when you're at work and you feel like, wow, I really accomplished something.
Yeah.
That I think really makes you love your job. And I think I really realized that I loved this work when students graduated and then kind of came back afterwards. Because I've had some students that now are, like, I met in middle school and they've graduated from college.
Oh, wow.
And so now, they'll call or message and just check in, and like, that's a really cool thing to think, like, you have, and it's really impactful. It's really cool to think, like, I made a difference in somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and maybe that's a selfish thing to say, but to me it matters to know that I made a difference. So
yeah, definitely. You definitely did, because came from here and I'm already in second year in college, so yeah.
Okay, well, I'm excited. I'm very proud of how far you've come.
Thanks. Because I'm struggling right now. For answering the questions.